working on that.
That's right.
Rubbin is Racing wants to know, have Brad and DJ ever played one-on-one during a rain delay?
Not that I know of. I haven't seen them do that. They do a lot of talking about how to do that.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of great times in the studio and across headsets, you know, and during rain delays and stuff, but I don't think they've done that.
I actually covered Brad's entire NBA career when I was covering the
So that's the reason you know Brad so well.
Yeah, we kind of grew up together in this this crazy business. Although I was a journalist with covering the NBA back then. Patrick Ruddick wants to know, any more Sprint Cup races for Steve this year?
I hope so. You know, we got a lot of heat going to Daytona. A lot of naysayers saying, oh, this is crazy, you're going down there and doing this. Well, we finished the race without a dent in the car and had a good top 20 finish. Crossed the start-finish line in 12th position. When the checkered flag flew, we were 12th. But on that last restart, Steven got a really good restart, darted to the outside to make a pass. And NASCAR said he stepped out of line, which they were right. He did step out of line, and a rule's a rule. But the thing, as a dad and a team owner, going down there for just that one race and preparing our cars in our shop, and knowing we crossed that line in 12th, and all of those veterans wrecked and we didn't put a dent in our car, made me really feel good about all those fans that said, that's ridiculous that we're taking a young kid and putting him in a Daytona 500. I knew in my heart he could do it. I watched in the speedways how good he run in the speedways. I knew what could happen. And I'm not going to pat myself on the back, but what I am going to say is that what I thought could happen did happen. And to get a good top 20 on the lead lap, no damage, made me really feel good in a race at Daytona, which was really a crazy, hectic race. Now, I did think about going to Talladega, but I found out real quick in that race at Daytona you had to have a teammate in order to run. And we don't have a teammate, so I didn't run the race. Now, I am looking at maybe the second half of the year running some other races, like maybe running Kentucky, or maybe not Kentucky, but Michigan, or maybe even a Charlotte, or something like that, you know, an unrestricted track, not a restrictor plate track.
Yeah. How difficult is it when Steven gets some criticism to sit there and digest that? I mean, obviously, any young driver is going to tear up some equipment and do some things.
Fans are opinionated, and I love them. I mean, if what the fans, we'd be in trouble, but everybody's got an opinion. I'll never forget the late Dale Earnhardt Sr. telling me, he said, everybody's got an opinion. And I go through all of them. And a lot of them are very vicious, too. I mean, they just, I hate you, I wish you were dead, you're ridiculous, your kid wrecks all the time, this is horrible. You hear it all. But, you know, when I talk to professional athletes across the world, they all get it. Every single person gets it. Do you want to get it? No. Is it called for? No. Has Steven had some wrecks? Yeah. His teething process, growing. This year, we ran all year, haven't put one dent on a car except for this weekend when the big wreck happened, when we got run over. So I'm real proud of what's happened this year so far. But look, I just got to take it. That's the way it is. That's life. And, you know, he's my son. My entire family works for me. We try to give back to the sport. We employ about 60 people at RWI Racing. We're trying to run 3 cars to try to help us get better. And, you know, people have their opinions. There are people just flat don't like me that are going to not like Steven because of it. And there are going to be people that not like Steven because of the wrecks on the teething process when he first started. And there'll be people that's all they remember. I remember the good things. You know, I remember the run at Darlington last weekend where you run 2 inches from the wall all around for the whole entire race and didn't put a scratch in the car. I remember those really good snapshots of greatness, I call it. I focus on the positives, and I try to do something about the negatives.
Yeah, that's a good answer. And you know what? The neat thing is that most of the fans are pretty positive, but you always get a segment that, you know,
yeah, and you do.
A little rough there. Patrick Ruddick wants to ask, any more? Oh, he asked the same question. Okay. Jenny Hall-Hess asks, who do you think will be the next king-worthy driver in either series?
King-worthy. Wow. That's a good question. That's a good question, a king-worthy driver. Well, how do you not say something positive all the time about Jimmy Johnson, you know, in the Cup Series? But he's awesome about both series, right?
Either series.
Oh, either series. Yeah. Well, every single year there's always a superstar. And it's never the same superstar every year. But in Jimmy Johnson's case, he's been the superstar for 5 years in a row. I really admire him for his focus and his radio techniques, his etiquette across the radio, how he explains what's going on with his car to his crew chief. I listen to it all the time because we're monitoring him all the time with ESPN. I love how focused Carl Edwards is also. I like he's so focused on that. So I look at Edwards, I look at Johnson. I look at these snapshots of greatness, I call it, with Kyle Busch, how he wins all the time. But he's really struggled on these the last 10 races. So maybe he can turn it around. There's so many doggone good drivers out there. I like them all. I love the brashness of Kevin Harvick. I love how Carl Edwards is so worked out. I love how focused Jimmy Johnson is. I like how wiry some of the guys are. It's a good time to be in the sport right now. It really is.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's it. We're out of time, Rusty, but I want to thank you for joining us today. A lot of fun. I want to thank all the fans for all the questions, and I hope everybody has a good day. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you very much. I had a good time coming down, and hope I shed a lot of information to a lot of people. Hope it wasn't negative. Hope I said what you wanted to hear.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rusty.
Okay.